Hello, welcome back to Late Night Lawn Chairs, episode 3.
Yep.
Count them.
Yep.
All right.
Let's do it. Well, welcome to the vodcast for a third time. I didn't think we'd be back out here again before I leave for college, but here we are. So yeah, if you haven't seen the previous episodes, my name is Brett. I'll come up with a street name later in the episode. What about you, man?
Sponge Boy. Government name Aaron.
Big Melons. Better known as Skylar.
My name's just Ruby.
My name is Sharkshot7. Check me out on Xbox.
Alex.
Alexander.
And so my actual name is Alex, for those who know.
So
Thank you for having us.
For those who aren't aware, the topic of the day is fate or free will, the ultimate reason for what happens in our lives. Essentially, the way things happen on a daily occurrence, is it a result of fate, just kind of what is destined to happen will happen, or free will, as in you make the choices that determine what happens in your life. So, I don't know if anyone has anything they want to start off on, we can just go from that.
I kind of think you make your own destiny, but it's like every choice you make was somehow...
You haven't settled yet on it.
I haven't settled yet, because I think it's both. I think you have a choice, you make every choice, and that's your own decision every time, but that also is like already...
Like the choices are given to you,
yeah.
But it's up to you whether you accept it or not.
No.
No,
You have like a set destiny, but you also made that choice. There's no you know what I mean?
No. Okay, I do agree with Aaron in the sense that it's a mix of both. I think you don't have control over everything that's thrown at you. You can have these different choices that you have to make throughout your life. But like I was thinking that you were getting at was that it's your choice to act upon them and choose like where you're going to go and to get up in the morning and to go do that thing. You may have a destiny laid out for you, but maybe you just don't have it in you to go achieve it. You gotta actually get up every day and go at it.
I mean, I feel like you could say like fate. I feel like you're onto something with saying that there's two, because some things I feel like have got to be determined by fate, but other things are probably free will. To what extent could you change your life by believing everything's free will? That's another point I feel like.
Do you think it's fate that you, like now that you know you have control of every action, do you think that was fate? Like you realizing that?
Yo,
that's like fateception.
We're going way deep here.
Crazy, dude.
I feel like it really depends on like what household you're brought up in too. Like if you were raised in a religious family or not, because you can say like you can attribute fate to religion.
The fate of you deciding what you believe in fate or not comes from where you're born.
Right out of the womb.
I do think that's true though, because you can come to your own decision on this question, maybe altered and swayed by the religion you're raised up in. Maybe someone's going to say a lot more about fate and talk way more into that if they were raised up extremely religious, because that they delve way more into those topics and kind of push that.
You mean like from like the way that parents like taught you about life from
Yeah, I feel like that in itself is kind of fate, because you don't have free will who you're born with, so that itself is kind of fate. So
I guess it's fair.
I think regardless, if you go for the free will option, you go fully 100% on that. You never had the option to choose who you were born of. So I think that regardless of what you say, you're at least always a tiny bit of fate in your answer. You can't fully get all free will.
I think with free will though, you could kind of like take whatever circumstance you're brought up in and kind of create whatever you want with it. I guess it matters where you come from, but it's your own choice what you do with it. I actually don't think it has that big of an impact. Like what
Free will or fate?
Like where you come from.
Oh, where you come from.
So you're more of a nature guy then.
I guess.
You're kind of born.
You want to put a label on it.
I kind of understand what you're saying, but at the same time, what would you say about like the religions out there that teach people like imagine I'm sure I can't think of a specific example, but imagine there must be some religion that says God is determining everything that will happen to you in your whole life. Mm-hmm. Is it fate or free will that you choose to believe in fate or free will?
Exactly. I think when you come down to it, it's required to have fate, but then also, just as you guys referenced, required to have free will, because you came up with the decision to think that that's fate. I don't really know if there's a defined answer, but that's I think what makes it so intriguing, to talk about.
Well, here's like a real world example of something that often happens. So there's a thought I get quite often when I'm just like, I don't know, by myself. I think like you never know if you're gonna wake up and something really terrible is gonna happen to you today. Like,
It's true.
and here I have a real world example.
Let's hear it.
I was coming home from Canada the other day. None of you guys know this, I don't think. I was visiting my friend up there. I was coming home on Canada on I-5. I woke up like it was any normal day, you know, and on the interstate, I rear-ended somebody. I crashed my car and it's totaled. You know, I woke up thinking I had free will that day, but I ended up in a car crash. I was like checking my blind spot to try to change lanes over, and like traffic was like really busy because there was a lane closed up ahead. And when I tried changing lanes, I checked my blind spot and I was good. I looked forward, I was good. I checked my blind spot one more time, but a little bit longer to make sure I didn't get hit from behind when I was changing lanes. And when I looked forward, the traffic had slowed down like 30 miles an hour slower than
And it was too late.
Yeah, so I hit the brakes, but I didn't have time to stop. I spent the rest of the day feeling like shit because I was like, damn, I crashed my car, but like, I didn't wake up that morning thinking I was going to crash my car.
Or wanting to.
Yeah, and I didn't get in the car thinking, all right, I'm going to use my free will today.
I'm going to crash right
I know,
into the
so
car.
like, was that, you know.
Was that fate?
Do you think that was predetermined?
I don't know. I mean, I've kind of thought about the moment a lot. I think, well, maybe if I'd looked forward like a little bit earlier,
Or-
I could have been in control of stopping it from happening.
Or if you made the choice to go to the bathroom before you left and you were just not even in that circumstance in the first
I know,
place.
the
30
car that
seconds
was,
difference.
I know, the 30-second difference, that is true.
This brings up, does everything happen for a reason? Like maybe you got in that rear-ending thing because if you didn't, you would have gone in a 70-mile-per-hour fatal accident an hour later.
Well, I almost feel like you're suggesting I was building up good karma by getting into a lesser
Whoa!
accident.
So that's not what I was
You
saying.
had to
Yeah.
get-
If we're bringing up the like more like fate stuff and something similar to that is just like the proposal that everything happens for a reason kind of deal, and just like maybe like I said, maybe if you didn't get in that car crash, then you could have gone into something worse if you were still driving for whatever. Not to suggest that you would, but I'm saying that the possibility still remains.
So it was fate helping me out.
Maybe that's the glass half full way you could look into it.
That's true.
But obviously it's like not a fun situation. What's going on? Is there a person? Oh my God.
No way.
Who is that? Let's skateboarder. Ask him. What's the name? Is he a guitar with that?
No, I think it's gone, guys.
What's up, man?
What up?
Hey,
Yeah.
that guy is the main
That is.
character. Yo, we're all just in his world.
I don't think the video caught that guy.
We're just
but
living in it.
There's a
Hey,
guy.
that guy has free will.
There's a,
That's Racer right there.
There's a real world example of free will.
Was that like he was skateboarding, guitar in his back, and did a peace sign while not looking where
That
to
was
see where
free
it
will
going?
for him. That was our
So
fate to
much
meet him.
swagger was gained just then.
I feel like it's all about perspective.
Like, what do you mean?
Like for fate, you can look at it how you want. If it's a bad thing, you can turn it into a good thing and say it's fate. Make your choice maybe more bad doesn't happen.
And so is that then free will? To say that it was fate helping you out, does that mean that that was free will that made you come to that decision?
What about like meeting someone? If you meet a friend, do you think like that's fate? Like you were destined to meet them, or like
Or you personally went up to them and you decided?
yeah, like is that predetermined? Like you were supposed to meet this person because they're gonna make your life better.
I think like really good friends, you probably have a lot of opportunities to meet them.
And is that fate that
Well,
brought up?
but
a-
it's
But like,
also
so
like-
you could have had that. You could have developed a similar relationship to that person, no matter when you met them. Because if you're like really good friends with somebody, and if it's like at school, you would have eventually bumped into them.
You also have these friends that you randomly run into in your life.
Yeah.
And
they become really
you
good
can-
friends of
You
yours,
can
so,
run
like,
into them
yeah.
super randomly, but they become a really good friend. If I didn't show up to this particular spot at this particular time, I would have never met this person, and maybe my life would have been different.
I actually think that's just fate. I think fate controls free will. Like you may think you have a choice, but I think every choice you make was something that was going to happen. Even thinking about the choices that you make in like terms of fate was already going to happen.
I think that was the strongest argument.
Yeah.
Is fate like an excuse
Hell
to
no.
not think about your future as much?
See,
And
that's
figure it
a
out.
really good thing to propose as well. It's an excuse for laziness. It's kind of
Yeah.
priming laziness. Is the sense of everything that's good will just come and be handed to me, so I don't have to try. That's one way to look into it. And if you fully delve into fate and think fate's got to get my back and stuff like that, does that mean you have to go and like act upon what's going to lead you to there in the first place? When I brutally killed a family of 5 on I-90 and drove away with no charges or anything like that, and that was fate that brought me there.
That was free will.
That was free will.
What is the difference between destiny and fate, though?
That's the same exact thing, no?
I feel like destiny is like something you're bound to achieve, but fate is just what happens.
I think destiny is like a niche fate. Like it's like something great.
Like if fate is a big genre, Destiny's over here.
Are you saying destiny always has to be positive though?
No, it's just like it's like more of like an end, like a long-term thing.
I feel like destiny is kind of like what like you're meant to be. Like you have to find your purpose. Like you have to find what your destiny is. I don't think your destiny is just gonna come to you.
I think your destiny kind of does come to you.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you have to be actively looking for it to find, because you can wake up one day and be like, this is what I want to do, and that can change.
But was that fate that told you?
Yeah, that's what I'm
to do?
saying. Like fate is gonna bring you to your destiny.
Like no matter what you can do, you can't get away from it because somehow you're gonna think that one day. And get,
Like no matter what person you are, like the choices you make, I feel like that's all under one umbrella. Like that, I don't know.
I just think it can change super quickly, and it's like something could be your purpose, and then
and that purpose can change.
Yeah, it can change.
And is that purpose?
Is that
Are you saying destiny as well? Is that like can your destiny change?
Yeah.
I don't think your
so.
overarching one can.
I think it can, but
But what determines the overarching
Yeah.
one? Like how do you know it? You don't, I guess.
I guess you don't.
Unless you got a narrator.
Unless you're the main character.
You always-
Yeah, that's the skateboard guy.
There's always an internal narrator.
There is. I don't know if this even means anything, but does time come at you? Like, do these, let's say, like, fates and destiny, do those come at you when you're standing still? I think you might have touched on this already, but, or do you have to go to get to them? Like,
I think you have to be actively pursuing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but I think being active is your fate. Like you were gonna go get up that day.
So how do
I've
we
told on
define
myself.
fate then?
I think just like everything happens because it was gonna happen for a reason.
then there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, but that's just what I think. I don't think you actually have a ton of free will.
I feel like everything happens for a reason, but it's like all in the way that you look at it. Like even
Yeah.
if it's a bad thing, like you gotta like
Well,
get
yeah.
something good out of it.
Well, I was gonna say when you're saying like, oh, you have to go look for it. You made a good point where you're like, I think sometimes when you find friends, it's like you find them not by chance, but like it just kind of happens. Like you're not looking to find a friend.
Well,
in
yeah,
somebody
I
else,
think
but,
it's
like,
different. I think
Like destiny
finding
is
a
different.
friend is different than finding like what your purpose is.
Fair,
Like
yeah.
I think it's a little bit different, but I don't know. It's kind of they overlap a little bit.
I feel like when you go through life, it's like you can either go through life with like a set destiny, like you're like, okay, I'm gonna beeline for that thing, or you just get like hit around like a pinball or something until you finally find what you're looking. Like I feel like the people that grow up and their parents like you have to be a doctor, and they didn't.
That's
think-
not
they,
their-
They beeline all the way.
But
to
that's
be a
not their
doctor.
destiny, though. That's
Well,
what
it might be
they're-
their
You never-
destiny.
destiny, you never
it might
know.
be their
Dude, it fucking kills me that you don't know what your destiny is, though. You know what I mean? Because
Like that's what I was saying. You can go your whole life thinking that you know
what your
destiny is, but then it can change.
But then it wasn't ever your destiny. I think your destiny was only ever like set when you're on your deathbed. It's like what you accomplish with your life. Your destiny could be something that's evolving as it goes. I don't think
The sum of all your choices or
I-
something.
Maybe we're not even talking about destiny anymore.
I think we are. I think you're freaking killing it. I want to point that out real
Are you giving me
quick.
some
Okay, but
compliment?
I'm going to raise you something, though, and I'm going to stomp you onto the ground. If your destiny is fully achieved by the time you're on your deathbed, there's kids with cancer.
They had a destiny. I mean, whether it's like the impacts they made on their loved ones, whatever it was, they had
And
one.
that's a great rebuttal.
One's
So
gonna be different.
destiny is more like purpose.
I think
Damn.
that's at least what I think.
So you're saying that, let's say a kid sadly has cancer and is dying, it impacts someone close to their life that achieved something so great that it justified it,
Yeah.
as sad as it is.
I
It's
don't
such
get.
a- it's
I
such
don't
a
get
tough
what you're
subject.
trying to say. Right
You know?
now. No.
Well, when you said that they died to bring up others, in a sense, and that was their destiny.
And it could not. Well, destiny isn't always good. It could be something bad too. They could have got cancer and made a ton
destiny
of
was-
terrible choices before they got cancer, and
That's why they got that destiny.
had like yeah. Well, no, yeah.
Not everybody that gets cancer as a child is a bad person.
No,
It's
they're
true.
not. But I'm saying let's just like I
Maybe
think
that's-
it's cumulative of whatever like actions
or
they
what
had
they
in
could
their
have
life.
done.
So like who sets your destiny? Yourselves or others?
Is
think
destiny
anyone-
controlled by fate or free will?
You think it's set, like there's nothing, like,
I
but
think
you don't
it's-
know what it is, so you can't.
I'm not gonna. What am I gonna say? God did it?
Yeah,
No.
God
'cause
did
then
it.
we're going back to religion.
Yeah.
I don't think God did it. I think you have some
Yeah.
a life, something ahead of you that you can't really change.
But then
I feel like I kind of disagree with that. Things you do building up to that can change it.
I still
Why?
think those
But-
things that you did to quote unquote change it were always the same.
We're
always
always
the
gonna be
path
there,
you were gonna make.
no matter what. What sucks about that is it makes you feel like these tasks you've done, it undermines them. It almost.
It
feels
shouldn't though, because it's set because of who you are. It's not set by somebody. It's set because of you.
And
It's
then that
not-
makes you think like, did I have to do this one thing to get?
yeah,
to
you
my
did because
destiny?
it's set because of who you are.
Like, that's
So
why you
what if
did
I
it.
didn't do that one thing then?
Well, then that still shows your character. There's no one controlling what you do. I just think there's only one path you could make in your life.
Do you feel almost like that, like you've done these big things in your life and you don't want anyone taking that away from you because that was you that did it? Is that what you mean? Like, and for all people, like how I was saying I could undermine it, like it's your choices that you did. It's nobody else. You don't have anyone else to think for but yourself because you did that.
I mean, yeah. If I made this accomplishment, is that like really?
It's because what you did.
Yeah.
That's what
like,
you.
All
that's
these
what you
events
believe.
that led up to that, like you could train for years for, I don't know, say a marathon, and then you do the marathon, and then
You win?
Maybe.
You're not a puppet. You're not somebody else's like.
Let's say this is your start, and then there's all these different things, and you see these are all your routes you can take in your life, but
Yeah.
you'll still end up here.
No.
No, I feel like that's your. Is that not your?
I really don't know how to communicate what I'm trying
Well,
to say.
okay.
Because you could not make all these different choices and
And still end up there? Here?
A wrong choice is part of your fate.
Oh shit!
Are you kind of talking about like the butterfly effect?
I was just.
Yeah.
That's a
I feel
good
like-
point to raise.
I don't think you could take two alternate like universes and like one
So you're
small,
saying like a wrong choice will build on top.
I think like one.
It'll lead to a
Are you
right
saying there
choice.
is
I think
no
like
wrong
one
choices?
stutter in like your speech would just completely change it if we're talking about two different paths, right?
There is no wrong choices then, because that choice was the one that led you to this destiny in the first place.
No matter what I do, am I always gonna get to my destiny?
I said it's on your deathbed. You probably
Well,
won't
I don't
be
think-
thinking on your deathbed, hey, I did that.
So
Well, you
well,
might.
not only
So
that,
Does everybody find their destiny or no?
It depends on how you define destiny.
I would
If
say
you're-
everyone does then, but it doesn't mean that their destiny is like. It doesn't mean it's like. Well, it can mean it's fulfilled, but it doesn't mean it's has substance. That your destiny could have been making sure this cat.
So,
didn't
but
get
if
run
everybody
over.
does find their destiny, does it really matter what I do to lead up to that?
Well, your destiny could be way better than someone else's. It's different for everybody.
I feel
and
like everything we
everything's
do is
just
like
gone.
a physical thing that we do, but we put meaning into it. So we make the
Yeah,
meaning.
I think the reason things matter is just because of our conscience. We can understand everything that's going on, so there's just so much more value behind everything, every action, every word.
Where does conscience come from? This could be religious.
I think what makes it matter is if it makes you
Where does
happy.
conscience come from?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If you feel fulfilled with what you did, then because if something that matters to you doesn't have to matter to someone else.
Or
exactly,
anybody.
and that's
Or
why it's
anybody.
valued.
It doesn't have to matter to anybody else in the world, just you. Your destiny could be something that nobody else will ever have.
Exactly.
But-
It's very personal.
yeah.
With the conscious thing, this could be delved into religion. I hear the best argument for when I hear, I'm like, okay, yeah. Where does conscience come from? Why do we do the things we do? Why do we feel the things we feel? It's so complex that it leads you to believe that there's only one answer, and that would be a higher being or some sort of overarching. Like I keep using that word, but just something controlling the whole deal. Like you said, how destiny, who's controlling destiny? Because I'm not to say that there is a God, but I could say that there is something that made nothingness into somethingness. How do you know the difference between good and bad? What gave you that moral compass?
I just genuinely think like your brains are more developed than
But then,
other things on Earth. Our brains are what makes us the top of the food chain on Earth. Value
But why
behind
are
it.
we more important than everything else in this room?
that's subjective, though.
We're not,
Oxygen.
but honestly, okay, every animal probably thinks, like, you know the animals,
They think that
elephants,
themselves
Yeah, they
are.
probably think that they're the. Well, I don't
Elephants-
really know how much they think though. I guess
Yeah,
that's the-
exactly, because they might not be able to transcend that
You
far.
guys know how elephants are like family oriented and they
Yeah.
care about their family and they'll die for their family. They probably only care about that group, right?
And they think that that's most
Hey,
important.
they see a human, they don't give a fuck.
I have to think about that. It's like how do you conceptualize what it means for an animal to think, but on like a lesser scale. Like
Because
like
you
like
can't.
a like a cat thinks in like a way that it
A different
does,
language.
but it's not like
It's
there's
more
no way
instinct.
for you to understand
No.
how a cat thinks, but it does.
The only way I would think it's like you could imagine it is like when you instinctually do something, when you're hungry, when you're sad, like when you're maybe more emotion based.
I feel like they don't take time to think about things. They like do, you know. It's,
So, is conscious derived from instincts? Did we evolve to get these instincts, and then those instincts told us that don't kill somebody because that could impact your own survivability, and then that led into emotions and so on and thus forth, and could be tied in.
well, I was gonna say like the biggest part of conscience is staying alive.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
that's
is.
that's
It
that's
is.
the ultimate goal.
It's the reason
Yeah.
you think about
Yeah.
it.
In modern terms, staying alive would be not going to jail. Or I don't even know about staying alive. If you want to lower that, just
Staying afloat in
staying,
society.
yeah, exactly. Like making sure that you're doing the best you can physically.
Paycheck to paycheck too.
Yeah, exactly as well. Yeah, and yeah.
It does depend on where you live. I mean, if you live in like the Congo, you're probably more worried about
More worried.
survival.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you live in like where we are, you know, it's not. I think there's like I don't get out of bed every morning and wonder if I'm gonna live to the end of the day. I just
Yeah.
wake up like, am I gonna make enough money to go get a couple dinners next week? I mean, that's my survivability that I need to reach, but. It's not the same like scale. Was it fate or free will that The Rock became a superhero?
Aaron,
Unfortunately, fate.
I agree.
because
Bad
everything
fate.
is, you're saying that everything's fate, right? So he had to become a superhero.
The Rock, yeah.
To go make it
you know,
there,
The
you're
Rock
right.
was gonna go through an In-N-Out 80 times based off fate and say that it was his first time. Have you guys seen that?
What?
Or what's like?
What I gonna skip the house.
So is
Whoa.
conscious.
Caveman
No,
discovers
don't
fire.
hand it to me. So he went through an In-N-Out drive-through.
Okay, 81 times.
It was like 12 times.
12 times.
But every time he filmed a video about his first time going to the In-N-Out. For like, because I think they like sponsored it.
I
Is
thought
it
it
the
was-
same In-N-Out?
Or maybe it was a different restaurant. No, it was. I don't know if it was the same In-N-Out. It's just the fact that he went over there and he decided I was going to film a video about my first review on In-N-Out.
Oh,
like my
brother.
first reaction. He did that like 12 times.
Like six or
6 or 7 times.
Ever.
6 or 7 times.
6 or 7 times, you know.
I feel like that was a lot of good talk about fate or free will, but I do feel like it's relevant in some of the conversations we've had to switch to it just a little bit of a. Honestly, it doesn't sound similar when you look at them on paper, but like the
It
way
felt.
a conversation went, it did feel similar. So
familiar.
I'll pose the second question:
Cool.
if aliens truly do exist, does that make our human experience like less important? I
Yes.
guess, in the grand scheme of things.
Oh.
I mean, hell yeah.
I think we all can agree that they have to exist.
Yeah. There's no chance.
I would
they
think
don't.
so.
I feel like it's
Sure.
just the number, like, it's just not possible for them.
The universe is pretty fucking big.
Yeah,
for us to be the
isn't
only
it
thing
ever
And it's
expanding?
still getting bigger, yeah.
Yeah, so like the opportunity for there to be one far outweighs the opportunity
I
not
think-
to be.
I-
I think is it impossible or improbable?
I think it's
not exist?
impossible.
I think it's impossible for it not to be possible.
I think it's impossible for
Yeah.
them not to be in our galaxy.
Yeah, galaxy, hold on. But I don't understand. Every time there's an alien, it's always intellectual or higher up. What if we're the aliens that are going to go invade someone else's planet? What if we're the higher up ones and another person's like another planet is full of like cows?
I think aliens are always portrayed as intellectual because think about it, how far they would have to travel to get to us. They would have to be way above our
Yeah,
society.
there's no way they're like dumber than us and they got
and get
first.
here. I feel like we're so far advanced. We're going to be so close in the next centuries that we're going to make it to Mars. And let's say there is things on Mars. I think we're the higher beings taking over these planets, and I think we are literally the aliens because we're from other planets.
Well, I think a reason, because I think it's impossible. I think there's guaranteed aliens that are on par with us in the galaxy.
In the galaxy,
In the
this
galaxy.
is crazy.
No, as it is, we probably won't make it off the planet. Can I just
Ever?
say that? I don't think we will
We
go
got
very
millions
far.
of years.
I think in 100 years, life is going to be substantially lower quality.
50 years, I think there'll be people living on Mars.
I don't think we're going to ever terraform Mars.
No, that is a huge, you're just throwing all your money into the fire. And dude, space travel makes me so fucking angry. You're spending all this money to get people to Mars to then spend even more money to terraform it just to have.
Terraforming it takes
It is
thousands of
it is the stupidest thing of all time. Why don't they focus all that brain power, money,
On
and-
fixing stuff. If they took all the money they were spending on Mars exploration
I know.
and put it into like
We'd be good.
programs to fix like the environment and all
I
that
like
shit, we would be so fine. Space exploration is one thing, but instead of fixing the planet and spending money on China, just make a new one. I
Yeah.
think that's a bad idea.
Die?
We have a great planet with a perfect atmosphere.
and
all
we're
this
trying to
awesome
go to a
stuff.
shitty one.
I know.
Why?
There's fucking nothing on Mars.
We don't have, I honestly don't believe we have enough resources or time to ever go out of our way and find another planet like Earth. Like, I don't think we could go find aliens ever. I think they would have to find us. Because we don't have enough resources and we're not going to get it from anywhere. Because if we made it to Mars, we would be probably out of our ship, right? And we don't have enough time on this planet to probably make anything that's going to get us. I think it's like a bottleneck effect where every other thing that's like every other civilization in the galaxy is probably running into this problem where they don't have enough resources on their planet. They'll overpopulate and then they won't be able to make it anywhere.
And do you think that happens to every single?
I think that would be a similar problem. I think we're just another statistic on the board that's trying to explore, but probably won't ever find any other life.
And I think for a lot of people that's hard to swallow and hard to take, and it really bumps people out. But I think that's the great thing about it because this might be a glass half full and very optimistic, but it doesn't have to be special objectively, but if you make the most of it and I think just living life to the fullest and getting to experience it, the chances of you being you and where you are, what the fuck and you're here and you're gonna sit and cry about how everyone's gonna be gone and you're not special. You are so special. There's no other world where you can exist the exact way that you did, and you're gonna hear it taken for granted. I think we are some of the luckiest people just because we exist. It makes us lucky. But it would still be your conscious if it was a different sperm. Nah, that's what I would think too. But I feel like and religiously, I think it's some. I don't remember where I read that, but regardless of which one makes it, or whatever, it's the soul that goes into you is the same or something.
Do you
Yeah.
believe in soul?
Have you guys
I
seen
don't-
those
that one's
stories?
hard.
Your soul can be like reincarnated into something else.
Hell no.
Could you download yourself onto a computer and put yourself into another body or a
Could I put my
robot?
head on ice and revive myself 100 years from now? Like Walt Disney? Have y'all seen that?
No.
That's why Walt Disney made the movie Frozen, because now when you search up Disney Frozen, it doesn't come up with Walt Disney's head on ice. It comes up as the movie. There's a thing where it's like there's only a certain amount of souls and they just keep circulating. Like you'll die, but your soul will go into an ant, but you won't know it because it gets erased every single
And then
time.
you're fucking stupid ant.
But you won't know because once you die, you come back and you're like you could have been an ant before this and you have no idea.
Okay, here's a question for you. Would you live your life differently if you knew you'd be reincarnated?
Ooh.
I think a lot of people would.
Yeah.
That's the, you don't know what you would be reincarnated as, so
Well, I think what makes life meaningful is that
You only get
only
one.
have one life.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think you get
And
And you have to spend it how you want to spend it, otherwise it's not meaningful.
And to be fair, if you're reincarnated and you don't remember anything, is that really you then?
No, it's not.
Because what you did in this life is what made you you now. So when you turn to a frog, you're not going to have any of the same aspirations, beliefs, or anything. Because you just don't. You literally can't.
That just goes to your brain.
if you don't retain your memories and your experiences, it's
that
not
you?
Your memories and experiences, I think, are you. Because if my brain and your brain were to switch, but we're just in different bodies, like if I was in you, I would be Brent. If you were in me, you'd be Alex. Because
Okay, well, let's find out real quick.
okay,
No, but-
your experiences and your memories and your personality
So-
is you, but like
But-
the way that you look
Doesn't
isn't the
matter.
representation
Show.
of you.
This
It's
is just the
the
vessel.
It's a
Yeah,
show,
it's
yeah.
the vessel.
Well, like you're saying, your soul could go to an ant. You could be reincarnated as an ant. I don't actually get what that means. Like your body decomposes
Your
and your
essence.
fucking
Like,
ant is it?
Is your soul like your life force, but your brain is your
That could be.
experiences?
Like, and life force is just completely different.
I mean, life force doesn't have any personality. I feel like.
Yeah, you're the type of guy to get reincarnated as a shrub.
Yeah, and my shrub will take over your fucking dirt, dude.
I'm not a.
You'll
I'm
come
not
with
living.
it.
What happened to my
It is
life
a
force?
piece
I'm
of
dirt.
fucking
You'll
dirt,
come
bro.
back as some microfauna daphnia. I don't even think you know what that means.
You know what
Call
I
me
wanna
a
do?
shrub.
Okay, think about this. You know how many flies get fucking murdered every like?
Yeah, is that a
couple
person?
seconds? No, but like,
Grandma?
do the flies get reincarnated every time you kill it? Is that why there's an endless amount?
But do the-
like they
so-
just fucking spawn in when you kill one.
Here's a good proposal for souls
Back to the lobby.
reincarnation.
Well, what about the real life cases where people say reincarnation exists because of something that happened? Like there's one story I always remember. I don't remember the names or anything, but I remember the story of like there was like this kid who was like brought to this hotel in a different country, and he's just like
I think I would-
a 6 or 7 year old kid who's never been there before.
Yeah.
Oh, he goes to this house and he's never set foot in this country, this town, or this
Deja
house,
vu.
and he knows exactly how to find like the bathroom.
Yes!
And he
Yes,
knows
I heard about this.
exactly like where to go. He's like, and apparently it's like confusing. Like you have to go down a couple hallways. He walks straight to the bathroom.
Straight to
He's
the
like,
bathroom.
to get there. And he's like,
He somehow
and nobody
did.
can explain how he knew how to get there.
It doesn't make any sense.
How do you explain that?
This is kind of going back to like topic of like souls. If
Okay.
someone close to you passes away, like say your parent or your brother or your sister or something, someone super close to you, do you think a part of them lives on with you in a way?
I think for sure.
Or
Not to
like-
take like a dark turn or anything, but my mom passed away, and I still feel like to this day I kind of carry a part of her with me.
I think in a form,
And she
yeah.
like empowers you.
Yeah, I think it motivates me.
And that
to
determines-
kind of make her proud of me.
Yeah.
Are you saying like mentally it carries with you, or like you feel like
Spiritually.
part of her, like physically her like spirit is like a part of you? Like what would you say?
I feel like kind of spiritually,
Mix of
like
both.
it's a mix of both. I think a part of her lives on with me. Like I'll see something and it'll like remind me of her, and I feel like that's kind of like
that's almost her way of like.
it's like
That's-
her way of
that's- yeah.
communicating
Yeah.
with me, kind of.
I think
Sort of
that's a good
telling you
point.
that. It's things like that that make me turn the other
The other
side.
end, yeah.
Because I completely agree. I'm not gonna go into details, but like with my grandma and stuff like that, I feel like I recognize her in certain things as well.
Yeah.
And while like how Brett could be, that could be some sort of coping mechanism with like mental factories and all that, I refuse to believe that, regardless of what backs it, because I feel like that's there.
I feel like that's just them telling you to kind of keep like,
Yeah.
moving forward.
They're always with you.
Right. Like you're always like I want to be there to like.
I think I always think pretty straightforward. I'm pretty surface level when it comes to thinking. Like I think, yeah, like you didn't have a choice. You didn't make that choice. That happens. But I think death is so powerful, and like I think that person still is with you. What you
So do
carry
you think
with
it's
you.
their soul that's with you, or do
But
you
I
think
don't
it's,
know. I don't know. I just know that they're with you. I don't know. if
It's
soul.
it's hard to
In like
explain.
whatever way.
I think that was the only point that I've 100% agreed on with this. Even though there's no way to actually say what it is and there's no way to prove or confirm it,
Yeah.
I full-heartedly believe in that. And
I mean, you can't really explain it.
you can.
I feel like you'll never know.
And it might never be answered, but it's something there for you.
It's always there to think about. It's not something to figure out. It's something to kind of motivate you.
Unless you're into like ghost shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And crystals.
Phasmophobia
And shoving
and
garlic up your butt. Hey Dylan, I don't know if you're watching this. I'm gonna put this on the air. So she's my sister, right, guys? So we went to Hawaii and we met this really nice lady, and she's kind of like family friends with my parents, and she told my sister that there's some great medical, unproven practices, and if you shove a garlic up your butt, you will do better physically. But anyways. Love you, Dylan. And Dylan's friend, Sophia, I don't know if you're watching this either. She used crystals and dark magic to curse her ex-boyfriend.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Did it work? Did it work?
I've never followed her up on it, but I'll ask if he's still living.
I'm sure if it worked. Oh shit.
Anyone had a ghost encounter ever, or supernatural?
I don't know. It's hard because I feel like ghosts is something like I don't really know if there's ever going to be scientific proof of it.
I also think that ghosts could be souls.
Like
Yeah.
what you were bringing up.
Like, I think it could be, maybe that's if someone has a paranormal activity encounter, maybe that's someone that
Their
is
loved
trying
one
to
or
communicate
something.
with them.
Yeah. It's these spiritual things that you just can't ever confirm, no
It
matter
won't
how
ever
far we advance.
It won't ever
It's
be.
nothing.
Yeah.
But there's substance in that, and that's why it gets brought up so often. I'll share my little ghostly experience. The reason why I hate it, because it's really recent and it's where I sleep a lot. I have a little sleepover deal with in the basement at my house, right? Just a couple guys, right? And I get up and I go turn something off on the back of the basement. Like I get up, I go over there, and the people that were there were seeing Tom and Gubo, and they're all doing their thing over there. I get up to go do stuff. I'm messing around with something, and 100% certain I hear shuffling, someone getting off the couch from the back, like going over the back of the couch instead of going around.
I was there. I remember.
You were there that day?
Yes, I remember you being like, I swear one of you just jumped over the couch.
Yes, I could have sworn I heard Gubu jumping over the couch, walking over to me, going right here, and then going, right? So then I'm like, I smile. I remember literally smiling, looking at my phone or whatever I was doing. I was smiling and I go, Gu. And then immediately chills down my entire. I'm shaking I stopped staring. I remember Gu looked at me like going, and he's sitting on his phone, sitting on the couch looking at the TV where I thought he had jumped up from me and went behind me, and I felt a huge right here. I can still feel it if I think about it. Ever since then, whenever it's really quiet and dark and I'm by myself in the basement, I can't stop thinking about that. Because what? All the windows were closed, all the doors were closed, no one was moving, everyone was sitting down. What the fuck?
Well, one more thing I wanted to bring up because it's just kind of about the whole thing of like keeping like memories like within like how we like keep people alive. Have you guys seen the movie Coco? Like the
Yes,
the
yes.
movie?
Yeah.
You know that movie's obviously animated, but I think the whole thing about how like the way that they keep like their ancestors alive is by remembering them. I feel like that's kind of the way I look at life because when you think about how are you going to be remembered after you die, I feel like you could be famous and you'll be remembered by lots of people, but I think it's just as good to be remembered fondly by a couple people in your family. I think when you were saying like you keep your mom alive through like certain other things, I feel like just in memories and experiences you keep people alive throughout your family. People would talk about stories from their families for generations before we had technology. We've been living on Earth for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. We only just got technology in the last like 30, 40 years. So I mean, people had to just remember their family through word of mouth stories and stuff like that. And I feel like that's one of the most valid ways I think to keep people alive. Is memories and experiences I think is what really the way you transfer that out to people in the future. Is what's really good. Like my kids will probably never meet my grandparents, but in a way I can kind of have them meet them when I tell them stories about stuff like
They'll
this.
think a certain joke that you heard from your grandparents you say to your kids. They'll never know that was your grandparents' joke if you never tell them.
For you, that keeps your grandparents alive.
Exactly.
And in spirit, I feel like that keeps them alive.
I love that, yeah. And especially that you said that you remembered fondly by others close to you or who knew you. I think that's one of the best morals of all time.
Some people work so hard to try to like make sure that they're remembered in a good way. And people will go to the ends of the earth just to try to build up something where like I want to be remembered by as many people as possible. But like I feel like it's quality over quantity. If I have to do all this shit to try to be remembered by a bunch of people, I feel like it's more valid in my own history to be remembered fondly by my family. But that also leads into the thing of like, you know, is life meaningless? I mean, you know, because someone can work so hard to achieve fame and get to the point where they're like, oh, I'm like, you know, people will remember me now. But imagine the Earth just fucking explodes the
Like,
next
what-
day. What did you work so hard to achieve?
Yeah.
But
Nothing.
if the Earth explodes tomorrow, I mean, the memories that you made with your family, that's
They're
that's
still-
what was.
That's why you're. That's yeah.
That was your own personal meaning, and that's more important than trying to be remembered by as many
That's
people as possible.
they're only here for so long, so like it's the most overused phrase, but make the most of it. There's a reason why it is. It's because is there anything more than that? Like doing what's gonna make you happiest and those around you as well.
Or think about
it.
how many people have been lost to history.
The time. Countless. You can't. You literally. You just can't.
Like,
I feel like
trillions
just
of
at some
people
point,
have been lost to
it
history.
has to happen.
Someone
Okay.
you don't even know. Maybe that's their soul pushing you forward as well.
Yeah.
Maybe every single person's soul is still alive, and they're inside you, in a non-creepy way, but maybe that they're pushing you forward, and you have no idea who this person is. They don't know who you are, and maybe they don't even know they're doing it. But crazier thing, maybe souls just go into other people after you die. What if we all are made up of countless souls, and those souls are all telling us, maybe that's where whims and aspirations and these choices, everything you come up with is from these. This is so far-fetched and outlandish, I just came up with that on the spot, but that's something that's another, it's countless possibilities,
Each
but
soul constantly is tugging on you some way.
to go a different direction. And then the ones that are most impactful to you are the ones that are the leading charge, like how Skylar was saying. Like maybe you have multiple people pushing in different directions, but the ones that would make the most impact with you in your physical life, those are the ones that really had the final decision.
I mean, think about like a wandering soul. You know, the whole idea of that. It's like they either they didn't fulfill their purpose or they have nowhere to go, and now they just kind of exist. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a fate worse than death.
It really is. Purgatory? Yeah. The hardest part about this whole podcast is there is no answer to literally anything we've said.
Nope, not even a little bit.
Nope, not at all.
It's just what you believe.
Yeah, okay, if like a species of alien were better than us and they like proved that and they like arrived on Earth,
Yeah.
do you think that would shatter religion?
Well, that's the thing I've often wondered about religion is like if I don't personally believe in a God, I mean I don't disrespect anybody who does, but one of the things I've often asked myself is like, if God does exist for humans, does God exist for every other species in the universe?
Or there's a
Christians
God
say
for every
there's one
galaxy.
God. Do you think that one God supervises Earth and the billions of other species in the entire universe?
Like, is it Santa Claus with a really long list?
I don't know.
got mine.
So from the beginning of this episode, you can see people have switched positions, but that's okay.
And genders.
We had a lot of great
Yo,
conversations.
okay.
I think
Y'all can
that
tap.
they weren't entirely on topic the whole time, but that's okay because it was still good conversations. So yes, without further ado, this has been Late Night Launchers, episode 3. Thanks for coming out.
Can I
stay
pound it
blessed.
noggin see it in the camera? Pound it. Noggin. See ya.
And that's the podcast!